Good evening. How are you? Hey, Matt Mello. Good to see you. Okay, there is a little bit of, I guess, I guess there's some sanity to my insanity, continuing to do all these live streams. The reason why I'm doing this is because school starts. School starts for my kids next week, and I am gonna get through these next few calls and then move to Georgia's closing and then be done for a little bit. Thank you for being here. Okay, I am going to continue on. The next one is an hour and something, so it's going to be hopefully not too much of a long one. However, I've been drinking some Diet Coke, so. All right. This is part 12. This is from Phone Calls from Prison channel. Please go over there and give them a subscription. Their link is in my description.
Hi, Charlie.
Okay, so we are just past 48 hours after he's been convicted.
Hey, honey. Hey, Dad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay.
No.
Yeah. More important, how are you feeling?
How are you doing? I'm good. I talked to...
Hey, Kristen. Hey, Jill. Good to see you. Hey, New York Patriot lady. I'm going to finish these in the next 2 days.
Roland spent a lot of time talking to Bree. Didn't realize how much time I spent talking to him.
Okay, well, but that's good. I know Dan has been writing. I don't know if you spoke to him at all, but.
No, I have not talked to him at all.
Okay, because he's trying to get this thing changed, and he's very frustrated because, yeah, this is right after, the first one was right after we hung up at 4:30 exactly. And right. I said to him, earlier I said, I'm still talking to Charlie. I told him what you said about Sergeant Whaley. Then I said, well, thank you for trying. Chief Mack never came. And he wrote back, I trust Whaley. It will get done. It might be a day or two, but he definitely has helped us in the past. So, and then he did some other things, but he's trying.
Okay, thank you, New York Patriot lady. I hope I do not sound too loud. But I did turn up the volume on my mic on StreamYard. Hello. So, yeah, Matt Mello says, I never paid attention to how delusional Charlie and Donna really are. Okay, and I hope I'm not too loud. As long as I'm not, screaming at you guys. Matt says I knew they are dumb as Schmidt. So, apparently Chief Matt visited Charlie in the mental health section.
I know from the office that usually after you get found guilty of my charges, they put you in here for 72 hours for observation.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was 72 hours because that's like your normal Baker Act hold.
So then I was like, listen, like, this weekend is a great Veterans Day weekend. Like, I don't want, Chief Max has to be here on Friday and have to be the one who signed off on it and comes back on Monday. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm in a room where I can't look out any window. And if that mirror is facing me and the camera in here, and they don't turn the lights off. They leave the lights on 24/7. So it's like, I have these bright lights on my eyes, and I'm like not able to look past 6 feet of concrete in front of me with blood and shit all over it, and piss on the floors. Like, that's not right. Like, you're trying to. My mental health is not getting better by locking me in a box.
Who did you say that to?
One of the officers, and she said, "Well, I'm going to try to talk to my lieutenant tomorrow." And I'm on the day shift tomorrow, so he expires.
Because it's already been over 48 hours. So.
So it's only been 40 hours. And honestly, it's been 4 weeks.
It's been 48 hours, a little more than that. So tomorrow, why can't?
Yeah, who knows? He may only be on day shift, and in 48 hours, it'd be tomorrow evening. He'd be gone. He may be done Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he'd come back and let you out on Monday.
Yeah, you got to.
That's why I'm trying to get out before the weekend of the Veterans Day weekend. He may be on like a different schedule than most people. He may be like a 9 to 5 in government hours.
Yeah, I'll talk to Dan in the morning. I'll explain that to him.
I haven't called Dan at all because he's given me so much of his time. And he doesn't need to listen to me now. I'm sure he's very pissed off himself.
Oh, the dilemma. Charlie is worried about the Veterans Day holiday coming up. And then he says he doesn't want to call Rash Bomb because Rash Bomb has given him so much of his time already.
Very upset, actually. He's very upset.
I mean, he made a lot of promises and it wasn't his fault. It was, and I was talking to Bree about it, and I don't know if I told you this. I had people who came in when I said, "Do you know anything about the case?" They go, "Well, I listened to a podcast over my dead body, and saw the Dateline or 2020 episode also. But do you think that you could separate how you feel and listen to the rules of law and judge him fairly with what you just said that you view?" "Oh, yeah, I can." "Okay."
Tell me they were scratched.
They don't get scratched. They make it to the next round. And then I have to use my X in the next round to get rid of them. So I'm using my X's to get rid of. Listen, if you sat, I haven't listened to it, but I get the feeling if you sat and listened to a 6-part podcast about my case, it tells me you're overly interested, and it tells me that you've been tainted. Okay, now you tell us that you can totally separate yourself from any ideas or opinions you had.
Tinfoil Hat, I know, it's crazy. Tinfoil Hat says, "Hi everyone, I can't resist Charlie and Donna on the phone." I know, crazy. New York Patriot Lady says, "Charlie and Donna, Charlie expected mood lighting for crying out loud. You are locked up, not in a resort," right? Like, they are beyond delusional.
After listening to that, well, how are you going to remove that section of your brain that comes to that conclusion? Like, that's the question that you asked. It was a very polite way of saying, like, you can't get the shit out of your head. You already have thoughts and ideas and beliefs. You're coming in with beliefs. Beliefs don't disappear because somebody says, "Don't think like that anymore." You still have, everyone's got their experiences and beliefs that they ingrain coming in. I should have people who haven't heard of the case.
Of course.
The problem is, as officers have told me, you have to be living underneath a rock if you said you haven't heard of the case, or you'd be lying. And the more I talked about it with you today and talked about it with Bree, there was not. So this is what I'm saying. So they come in and they listen to the podcast and they make it to the next round. So over the 152 people, we had 92 people getting struck for cause. That means they said something that prevented them by law from being on my jury. They eliminated themselves by saying something. 92 people out of 150.
I don't understand how that's not a reason immediately to be struck. You shouldn't have to use a cross on that. That's insane.
No. She just said she can listen to the rules of law. She can judge me fairly. She can view me as innocent of proving guilty, and she can separate it. So she's one of the 60 that make it to the next round. And then once they have the 60 in the next round, they lined up 21 chairs, and 21 people. There's 7 chairs in front of the jury box, so there's 22 actually. So they did a set of 22, and they did a whole questionnaire on them. And then they announced which ones they had to eliminate because it was like the New York Yankees guy, the guy who's the GM of a restaurant who doesn't want his restaurant mentioned in the press.
Yeah.
Those people got eliminated. So then there was a certain amount that were kept, and then ones that got kept stayed, and then we put a whole new group of 22. And then we had another whole seating car of 22. And then maybe 5 or 6 of those got eliminated for cause of that group of 22 when you questioned even more. And then you were down to 35 people. And then out of the 35 people that made it to that point, there was still another 20 people sitting in the pews.
Yeah.
So those 20 people are still sitting in the pews. They have their second set of 20 that's up there, 22 were asking questions. And they were like, okay, we got 35 out of the original.
Hey, Mima, Dragon. Hey, JJ Ferris. Thanks for joining us.
44 are still left. And then we go back and we put into the game where everybody's name is on a sheet of paper on the seat that they sat, labeled like 2 groups. 1 through 22 in one group, 1 through 22 in another. Certain people get X'd off for cause, and then you have what's left. So then you have what's left, and you start with juror number 1. You want to keep them to the state or to us, and they're like, we'll keep them. Then we look at them and we're like, okay, we'll keep them too. So we go juror number 2. The state goes, no, we're going to use our X. Get rid of that. Juror number 3, we're like, we'll keep them. Juror number 4, okay, we'll use our X. So each side gets 10 X's, and then they get seated in that number order. So it works its way all the way to the top. So if you have a horrible juror, but he's number juror 35, you may never get to him. You may not have to use your X to get rid of him. So it's kind of a game. You don't want to, you're each going one turn.
Hey, the 2. Hey, Andrew. Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, I know that the FBI just had the, I don't know if they had it sent from the airport to Harvey and Donna's apartment. But, what was the guy's name? It was Detective Grossman from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, who was the one who did the search warrant for the luggage and also the apartment afterwards. He testified in Donna's trial. But yeah, the 2 said that lady, or it said New York Patriot lady, they knew Harvey needed the Xanax inside of it. Probably. But he's complaining about jury selection. Harvey, you hired a high-dollar jury consultant.
And their turn, one turn to their turn to use your strikes. But at the end of the day, I can tell you that as the jurors who made it through the original questionnaire, I would have to say 2 in 10 were probably good jurors. That he was this guy, this Tallahassee.
I missed that. 2 in 10 were probably what? I couldn't hear that.
I'm sorry. I would say 2 in 10 that made it to the next round would have been jurors that would have been good for me. They would have given me a fair shot. They were somebody who was highly intelligent. They were white. They were successful. They were 2 in 10 were good jurors. Like that juror number 15, I said to Dan from the beginning, I'm like, I love that guy. Like he's going to be perfect for us. Like he's exactly what we need. Like we said that to each other. Whole time he's on the jury, he's shaking his head and nodding with us. He told Dan that he would have acquitted me.
I know. It would have.
But next up.
And these other two that you felt were good, they X'd them out?
Anybody that would really be like one of the guys said, you know what? I'm a former.
Okay, I have it right here in my notes. Detective Jonathan Grossman from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office He executed a search warrant on 11/14 of 2023, and that was the day after Donna's arrest. Hey, Marianne. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you. Maybe Wendi can hire us, TCW, as a jury consultant. Yeah, I would never work for the defense. Patricia Burns. Hey, hon, how are you? Patricia says he delusionally believes he knows the inner minds of folks likely to be on the jury. He talks in sweeping statements about folks with stupid authority. He's a class A gobshite. And Patricia Burns is from the UK, so she is always teaching me new terms. Like I know what a minge is. Oh, Matt Mello says, okay, off topic, but I like it when Georgia told Donna's friend who thought she was a great woman that she suggested the boys dress up like Nazis. Yes. Yeah, she said, does a good grandma have her grandsons dress up like Nazis? And his reply was, not that I'm aware of, or it was something to that effect, but yeah, Matt Mello. Don and Harvey live thug life, I know. Ugh. Yeah, she was really interested in that blue bag, right? Like when she was getting arrested. That was the one with the meds in it. But she was high as a kite, y'all, when she got arrested. I mean, she looks like Hopper from A Bug's Life, if you guys know what that movie is, when she's sitting in the back of the Miami-Dade Sheriff's car. And I think that she is floating in that back seat.
He did really bad. And he goes, you know what, though? He goes, I was a law enforcement officer for 15 years, and I was falsely accused of beating my wife. And I lost my entire life. I got arrested. All these people turned their backs on me. All these friends that I thought I had in law enforcement wanted nothing to do with me. And I got judged, and I was totally innocent. And it ruined my life. So I don't judge, because when I first started off in law enforcement, I thought everybody was guilty. And he's like, I look at this guy, he goes, he looks like my brother. He really does. I think I could definitely treat him fairly. I'll give him a fair shake. I know what it's like to be falsely accused of something I didn't do. Like, I would definitely give him a fair shake. Guess what? Keep it stayed extra long. So do you remember 15? That was the one who told Dan he would have acquitted me. He got exiled. Another guy that would have been great for me, he got exiled. So it was like we were getting the 2 and 10 that were going to be good for me. And we knew that if we were asking questions, it's like they were asking questions, and we were trying to find out, what are these people like? What, the normal stuff that you hire a jury to bring out.
Right.
And it was like there was so few people that would be good for me. We knew who was going to be good for me. And if they were good for me, they put an X on them. But the problem was that it was only probably 2 and 10 that were going to be good for me. The rest were absolute shit. And I'm sitting there using X's on people who listen to the podcast. Like, to be honest with you, they didn't really do this. Like, it's jury selection, and they have.
Hey, Talagal, good to see you. Hey, Karen, nice to see you as well. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so I have your comments scrolling in the bottom right section of the video. I hope you guys can see it. I might mess around with it for a minute.
And it down to a science. I mean, you should see how much. We had one guy, his last name is Jackson. He comes in, 70-year-old white guy, doesn't really know much about the case. Kind of heard something about it years ago. Could really treat me fair and everything. Well, I guess the consultants go on everybody's Facebook. They do research on these people.
Right.
You know what they found? He was posting about the case that he wished he could kill Sigfredo Garcia.
Oh my God.
he was saying that he never posted anything. So after he left the room, the jury consultants brought it up to the judge and said to the judge, "Do you see the problem we're having? People are coming in here and lying to get on the case." And he said, "What do you mean? Or because this gentleman that we just interviewed, when we bring him back in, because we found the post that he said that he could be fair and didn't know too much about the case, but he's posting about it on his Facebook that 4 months ago he wished he could kill Sigfredo Garcia and get revenge." He's alive on a case. He's posting about it on his open Facebook, on his public Facebook account. He's posting about the case.
Unbelievable.
Months ago. And he just came in, well-spoken, white guy, wearing a jacket and a shirt, nice dress shirt, showing up for jury. And that's when Dan was like, "This is scary." Like, this guy just literally came in and lied to all our faces. Like, he's posting about the case on his public Facebook account months ago. That's how involved he is in the case. He's writing about it months ago. He showed up to watch the case in trial.
Right.
Hey Leslie B, good to see you. Hey Anne Marie, good to see you too. Hey Paula.
He showed up to be a member of the audience and watch. It wasn't like a jury.
It was not a fair, no, it was no. It was jury your peers. It was not a fair jury. That's the problem.
It was not a chance in fucking hell. Look, I know I'm not as smart as Dan or Josh, but I can tell you that I felt it in my bones when I was in South Florida. I felt it when in 2020, I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my gut. I knew that coming up to Tallahassee would not give me a fair shot in a million fucking years. And it was because of the amount of press that I was hearing that it was generating, the podcast, the small town. If I would have had any idea that they would have turned this into, crazy emails and Wendy's book and Wendy showing up at the crime scene and it taking the context of not having the context of anything, just taking the words out of the sentences that they're in and just highlighting them and being like, "You said this." I get done. I go, "What's my score? How did I do?" You get a 95. You get a 95 because the consultants were very impressed with you. Everybody was impressed with you. He was showing you text messages people were sending him. He's like, "Look, the worst we're going to do is hang." He's like, I think we're going to win now. I really do. Like, he said, "Look, everything on the case, if you would have told me 2 weeks ago, would be."
Hey Sky Troopers, good to see you. I think I said hello to Tinfoil, said hi to Karen, just making sure. Okay. Make sure y'all's comments are relevant and everyone understands them. Okay. And Matt Mello, I made you a mod.
At this point in the case, because I would be ecstatic.
That jury. I don't understand. Just don't.
He said that jury. It wasn't that jury. It's this town.
I know.
It's not that jury. You got to realize there wasn't one person that voted for me. Not one. Like, this is a first-degree murder case. Not one. It has to be so slammed shut that you know what happened. Not like, "Hey, y'all, use your common sense." The TV, the phone calls to the landline, the route that Wendy took that morning. Like, come on now. What does it all add up to? Like, all this code talk, like, no TV code. Wendy went the route she always went and never goes to a liquor store, so she went the only way she knows how to go, picking up a bottle for a party. But it's like, it's just, her using Wendy's book with a line that she wrote in there, 6 years ago to really make it seem like this actress, this phony actress, thinks Tallahassee's a shit town on the way to civilization. Got on the map on the way to civilization. Like, if you could sit in those.
He is complaining about Wendi again. I do kind of find it funny that one juror tried to get in. He was like 70 something. And he had posted on Facebook several months prior that he wanted to kill Sigfredo Garcia. Like, that's a weirdo.
People's faces and say, I'm smarter than you, I'm richer than you, I'm better than you, and I'm headed to Miami. That's exactly what you just did when you follow that up with an autopsy photo. There was no fucking way with a presentation like that, with all the exempt, they say it goes towards motive, but like all the fucking bullshit fluff that you put in, there's not a chance in hell you're going to win. Not a chance in hell. And especially not when I'm able to find 2 out of 10 good jurors, but I'm using my exes to get people off who are watching the podcast. Like, I should be using my exes to like get people that would be good on my case. I can't get people that are good. There's a few good ones were taken care of by the state. In my case, you were either a good juror or a really bad juror. I mean, I know it sounds like, oh, they're good for me, they're bad for the state, but it's like everybody was for the state. It's just a small handful, and you can easily identify them. They spoke their mind. They told you that you really felt that they could give you a fair shot, and they looked like somebody that would have come from an educated, successful background. Yeah. Not the guy who makes $12 an hour working at the Florida State bookstore. You think he's ever written a book? You think he wants to read about an author shitting on Tallahassee on our way down to Miami? Like this.
Hey, Charlie. Newsflash. I'll bet you the guy who works at the bookstore has read books, which you haven't, apparently. And you're putting down a man who makes an honest living. You're such a piece of crap.
It wasn't that Dan misread the jury. This isn't that Dan misread what Tallahassee was. I can't explain it any other way. Like,
Hey, Adelson hater, good to see you. These calls are for you. Adelson hater has the funniest name. I mean, so many people change their names to go with these 2 Delulus. Oh, great, Karen. Karen's in Australia. Awesome. Thank you. Matt Mello says, I'll be the guy. Oops, sorry. I'll be the guy in the bookstore doing life in solitary, right? No, he's not. He's not a murderer. Audrey, good to see you. Thank you for joining. I know, it's so funny. I know, the 2 says Charlie's blaming Wendi's book, the jurors, yet he neglects to mention his recorded convo at the restaurant or how he pressed Donna on the phone about the bump. Couldn't wait to speak confidentially. Yeah, he's just reiterating the evidence. He never has any remorse whatsoever for Dan Markel's murder. He doesn't say Katie extorted me, and he never says I'm innocent. And it's been hours of these calls so far.
She came in great. She's showing demonstrators of me calling the home phone that we've had since 1976. Probably because I knew my parents were in the house and they don't get great reception unless I call the landline when they're in the house. They get better reception on the landline. That's the only reason I would call that. And I'm calling from my cell phone. She used that demonstrative twice.
I know, which made no sense.
It does make sense. It was statistically significant. They didn't care that you were only at that address for 65 days in 2014. They put a timeline up to the end of 16. And what did they show? 99.8% of the time, I don't call that home. 99.8%. When do I call it? When they're making the first trip, when they're making the second trip. Y'all decide. Use your common sense. There's something going on here, ain't it? There's a tie. There's a commonality. I mean, there is a commonality. I'm not going to lie, but it just happens to be like that. Well, how many times are you going to say it just happens to be like that? You know, and then they keep referring back to the crazy emails and Wendi wanted to get the hell out of Tallahassee, and then Wendi changed the names of the boys, and then Wendi kept the boys from seeing their Dan's parents. Like, you paint a horrible picture, and you tie it together with Wendi's book and your emails, and you spin a story. And people.
Okay, no, she did not spin a story. He's talking about Georgia. You're literally reiterating all the evidence. Charlotte James, hey, good to see you. Hey, Citizen Kane. Charlotte James asked, I was listening to his testimony, and Georgia was talking about all the times he called the police. One was in 2015 on his baby's mother. Do you know what that was for? No, I don't know what that was for. Interesting. Someone might know. Yeah. Kristen Hagel says Charlie wanted the jury to be all June. Karen says Charlie still thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Too funny considering he's the only one in the room, right? Yeah, he's the smartest guy in his room right now at the jail in solitary.
Don't know me from Adam. They know there's stuff in the legislature to let grandparents see kids because of Wendi. Do you think they're doing that for fun, or you think really Wendy's keeping her grandkids from the grandparents? What's the perception? Mom.
I know all these things.
It's a bad.
Thank you, Matilda. Matilda said, I think he was filing for proof of paternity. Possibly. Okay. It's a bad movie. He's complaining that it's a bad movie. He's in a bad movie, y'all. Remember, he said that the jury took a life. Nope. You took a life, bud.
Yeah.
All right, just like again, now I'm not in my shock stage. Now I'm in my angry stage.
Yeah, well, you deserve right to be angry.
I go from shock to anger, sad, to anger, shock. I mean, it's people with a brain watch my testimony. They recognize there's holy shit, there is something here.
Yeah.
Shit, he's getting security cameras in his house and his office. It was advanced in weeks. It was actually within days. Within weeks. It was 8 days later they got installed. So 9 days later. So, he wanted to get cameras anyway. Yeah, we talked about it, but I never really moved on it until this.
Yeah.
But called the guy up 2 days later and scheduled him for that weekend. He was within the week. Cameras were getting installed the following weekend. The following Saturday. This happened on the 18th, Friday. The following weekend it was getting installed. And I was writing it a check as he was finishing up Monday. You know, so it's like, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I had to pause it. I have owls going off right now in my backyard. I want to see if you guys can hear them. Hang on, I'm going to call them. Hold on. Okay, I don't hear him again. I'll see. We might hear him in a few minutes. Oh, did you guys just hear that? Yeah, hold on, hold on. Let me see something. Did you guys hear that? Okay, sorry. I'll keep going with these. I know. I'm sorry. I'll keep going.
It wasn't the evidence that was stacked against you. It was the total package they were able to paint.
You know what it was?
It was just a total. It was a Dateline special. Let me get him on the stand and drill him. Okay, he got nowhere. It's just a Dateline. It's a Dateline with autopsy photos. Come on, y'all. Use your brain. Use your brain. Like, and you know what? I knew in my bones when I was down south that if I ever came up to Tallahassee, I would never have a shot in the world, especially not with the climate and and how big of a case this was to Katherine and all the extrinsic storytelling, finger pointing, foreshadowing ways she could get people to hate me. The Jew that's infatuated with Nazis, the crazy emails. She was trying to spin them. She was really trying to spin a lot of that stuff with Dave. So I sat up there and I was like, Dave's a great guy, but I think I liked him more than my sister did. But I think I did a good job of explaining, like, Dave's birthday's in April, my sister's birthday's in April, the wiretap started in April. And I made a point of saying my nephew farted on his head and he thought it was funny. Like, he loves his voice. Like, that's what I like most about it. I thought it would have been a great opportunity for my sister that she'd be passing up. So I tried to convince her to, she knew me for 2 years. It wasn't like she just met the guy on a dating app. Like, he was the total package, but I guess I liked him more than my sister did.
Shirley, you
But like that.
So real, so natural, so honest.
Yeah.
You did.
Like, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share something real quick. Yeah, okay, I'm going to share this. Okay, this is I believe that this is on my shorts on my channel. But I want you guys to listen. Like, this is literally them, like, going crazy. Okay, they start with the hoo 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 hoo, and then one will answer boo 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 boo. Like, they'll go back and forth. But this is them. I'm assuming it's during mating season. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay. I didn't know if you guys found that interesting. Yeah, like no, those are owls. I don't really know what kind because I can't see them. Oh, I just want. Okay. Well, okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll get back to the jail call. But yeah, I recorded that a few months back.
She's spinning the day calls to make it be like we're meddling in her business. No, my that was one of her best friends, and she really loved it. Just not in a relationship way. But she'd been with him for 2 years, and her birthday was coming up, and she wasn't going to invite him to the birthday, so we thought she was making a big mistake, and she didn't. I was looking out for her. Like, I didn't force her or anything to date. I was just trying to talk some sense to her. Like, I care about her. How would they feel? And she was trying to send those days calls like it was like an example of us meddling in Wendy's love life.
And hey, Marianne. Hey, Rosemary. Let me see. Make sure I'm saying hello to everybody. Hey, AA Legal Focus. Judy, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I don't know. That would be cool. Rosemary says there's apps to plug in the sound and to tell me what kind of owls they are. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, they take care of. Yeah, I mean they sound wicked. They sound very wicked. Yeah, Judy, I'm about well, I believe that this is number 12 out of 15. So, I'm trying to get through them. It's been brutal.
Like this whole thing was a TV production. I mean, the witnesses that showed up, they admit they lied. The key witnesses are lying. Like Dan said, you testify well, 70 or above, I'm driving you home. He kept saying, listen, I can get you to the finish line, but you gotta hold up under cross. You gotta do a good job under rec, and I'm gonna
Hey,
go ahead and go through
Allison.
everything with you in this case. Like we're gonna go through all these wires. We're gonna hit every point of questioning. They're gonna see that you're telling the truth. Like you know, they all like it all comes down to you. No, it really didn't come all down to me because
No,
he's like going.
not in that town.
What,
Not in that town.
what he said to me is that it all.
You guys, any jury in the state of Florida would have found him guilty. It did not have to be up here in Tallahassee. Hey, Allison, it's good to see you. Hey, MC Hamster, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, okay. So Kristen says the owls were going off the other night in her woods, and I was like, it's either a banshee or a Wendi. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like when they get going, they get going. I have not been able to record like the coyotes in the woods. Like 'cause they I don't I've like once they get going, like they start like howling. They're really like red wolves, like coyote wolf mixes up here in our area. And they'll start howling, but when they really start going, and I believe it's like a celebration, like they have an animal or something that they've caught, they end up sounding like laughing hyenas in the end. It is like super scary. And usually when I hear that happen, they're probably like within a mile from my house.
Down to whether they believe you or they don't believe you. And I said to myself, I mean, it's like, what if they came down to the believe me or don't believe me? They already hated me. They already had every reason to hate me. They could never relate to me and my life in millions of years. You know what the postman is sitting there saying? There's a lot of streets in Tallahassee, and she ain't nowhere near that street. Why the hell is she traveling down that street on that date, on that time? In hindsight, probably a postman, the 20-year sergeant, and
Hey, Susie Q. Rhonda, good to see you. Okay, so he just said, in hindsight, probably the postman. He's the one that served 20 years. He calls him the sergeant at times. He's talking about a jury. I'm sorry, a juror. And and then he also worked for the post office after he retired from the military. So he's about to talk about how, like, well, and we've been saying it forever, that the postman definitely knew that Trescott was not a shortcut.
the Army was the last leader he wanted on that case. Because what is his experience? Postmen know streets like the back of their hand. And there's a lot of streets in Tallahassee. You don't need to be driving down that street on that date, on that time, unless you're connected. Or it's a one in a million.
Yeah.
And if she knew something was going on, and that's why she was driving down that street on that time, on that date, then of course it's guilt. Or am I going to believe that that's just a mere coincidence? It's not. Use your common sense. Like, I knew in my bones.
Man, that really gets in his crawl, doesn't it? Use your common sense. And hey, Cat Ride. Sorry I missed you a second ago. Hey, thank you for joining.
When I was in South Florida, with that, what it was going to be like up here. I just guess I didn't follow my gut. I didn't think I'd say that.
Mm-hmm.
Such a tough situation. It's unbelievable. Like I was talking to Bree, and she's like, Charlie, I was sending your parents all these like new messages that people were writing on these like, you know, blogs and everything. Not that it matters, but like it was opening up people's eyes. People were coming to new conclusions. It was clear to them. You know, they're like, oh my God. Like, but you know what?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, none of those kind of people that write those were writing on there were A, from Tallahassee, and B, they weren't people that the prosecution would have ever let slip onto my jury. And I would never get 12 people like jury number 15. Couldn't get one of them on my jury. We knew who people. Listen, if someone is educated, they make the money, they're professional, they're 40s, 50s, late 30s maybe, the 30s, 40s, 50s, they didn't get the case. The problem is anybody that comes close to that description is going to get one of their 10Xs and a card out the door.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't a case about facts or proof or reasonable doubt. This was like, y'all use your common sense. Well, you know what? If you told me y'all use your common sense and you told me that this chick drove down the street on this day, on this time, and traveled 10 miles, and this is what her answer was, and this is who her brother is, and this is who his brother's girlfriend is, and this is the shit she wrote about in that book, she wanted to leave Tallahassee. She's an actress. Her mom even says it. Like, read it for yourself. Like, it's plain, she made it plain to see. Like, that's what the case turned into. And I get it. Like, I know there's other evidence, but that's Wendi showing up is a big piece to get over. Like, that right there will get you convicted. That one piece will get you convicted before you do all the other. I don't even belabor it. I did it talk for hours. I don't even belabor it anymore. But
He's said this several times. I don't want to belabor it anymore. He's using the term belaboring. But he just said that. It didn't pick it up. But Marianne, thank you. I just texted it to myself. Merlin ID with Cornell University for the OWL identification. Appreciate that.
what is, I mean, with all that expensive shit, that became the case. Like, it didn't become Luis Rivera said it could have been. It didn't become.
Yes, Judy, yes. They mentioned him in Oh goodness. Okay, yesterday I did a very long live stream for 4 hours and we listened to two in a row. And I'm using phone calls from prison jail call playlists between Donna and Harvey. So I'm sorry, Donna and Charlie. It's just Donna and Charlie jail calls. But it was in that one, and then I did a live stream earlier today, which is the call right before this one, which is number 11 on their playlist. The Alex stuff is in there, but that's the U.S. legal that Alex, Charlie, and Ryan are all involved in. There's been no mention yet of the apartment complex. Just FYI. There's been, it's just that, like that scam that Charlie, Ryan, and Alex were involved in.
The other witness is still lying. Like, she shows up and just lying again and again and again and again. Like, it didn't become, look at the piece of shit that the state's bringing in with Ryan. It didn't become, look at Jeff who thinks he's framed. He thinks he's framed. And, like, now he's making up a bunch of shit, just trying to throw shit everywhere because he feels like he's under the gun. Like, you're talking about, like, real life elements and facts and things that you build a case and you discuss and you want to debate or you want to prove points. This closing was nothing but Dateline with autopsy photos. I mean, if you ask me, it should be grounds for appeal for the basis that they showed the autopsy photo twice and left it up there for 7 or 8 minutes each time. Like, no one's debating that he was brutally killed, but it's like what you're tormenting these people with is you're playing with their emotions. Not only are they upset, you're showing them the before picture, the after picture. You're showing it to them twice. Like, you're traumatizing the jury, you know, and then you're telling them that these people think you in Tallahassee are a dot on the map on the way to civilization. You're not part of civilization. She's above you. She's above you, and she showed up there.
Okay. Hey, Wendy Joan. Thanks for joining us. Hey, 850. Good to see you guys. So here he goes, harping on the autopsy photos again. He's been traumatized. He's talking about the jury being traumatized, but in several calls before this, for several calls, he's talking about how it was so harmful to him. Not thinking about the fact that he is one of the people that caused Dan Markel's murder. Yeah, murder is not pretty, Charlie. And again, and a lot of people in my chat says this often, that he never watched an episode of Law and Order. He literally doesn't know that Court TV's been streaming live trials since the 90s. He's completely delusional and oblivious.
And this was done. That's basically what she was showing. And who benefited from this happening? Who got what she wanted? You know, like, it wasn't the case. You know, the case was what happened July 18th.
Okay.
The case is what happened to me at my house on July 18th. Wake up. Like, she realized when I was on the stand, she wasn't going to be able to prove her point of what she wanted to show on July 18th. So the only way she could dispute is say that you made friends with her. Of course, she was protecting me. Like, we never hung out, other than to really give her money, occasionally 1 or 2 times, and half the people were hanging out. So, like, we were done dating that week. We were done. Like, but then she goes ahead and closes it. She's like, they were together 4 or 5 months later. They were dating. No, we weren't.
No.
Or I was with Whitney from the beginning of August. I went out with Whitney to the Keys, and then she flew up to Pennsylvania, and then she came down the end of August. She pretty much almost moved in my house the end of August. Like, she pretty much moved in my house the end of August. You know, like, I was with Whitney. I mean, she originally she got moved in with Clint, but she pretty much spent every night at my house. Spent 2 nights at Clint's house, and she came in August. Like you're saying to these people I carried on a relationship for another 4 months, like totally lied.
So remember in earlier calls, he's like, I didn't keep going with the relationship with Katie. I broke up with her that week, which makes him look even more guilty. It implicates you even further. The 2 says Charlie always thought Rob was his nemesis, never dreamed Wendi would be his demise. He was desperate to be mommy's #1 kid. Yeah, I agree. Always wanted mom and dad's approval. He's really the one that never left the nest, essentially, right? He didn't go very far to undergraduate. Orlando's not too far from South Florida. He went to Nova for dental school and then went into business with dad. Maybe that was his only option. And Georgia pinned him perfectly when she said he is half black sheep, half mama's boy. Yeah, Judy. A Legal Focus says, just as Lacoste said, your alarm bells would go off. No empathy. Yeah, he's, oof. I mean, they are so crazy. Tinfoil says, he's shocked nobody believed his double secret extortion layaway plan. I know. Kristen, hey Jill, says never watched Dateline, The Sopranos, or The Wire. Oh my goodness.
Twisted it. But like, these fucking idiots can't remember what they heard last week. They're relying on Georgia's summary. Like, how you can give an instruction to disregard whatever the prosecutor says. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I hear you fine, honey.
All right. How are you doing today?
He's doing okay.
I'm doing fine, Charlie. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking. I'm just like, how you can give an instruction to the jury to only pay attention to the evidence given in the case. Don't take anything that the lawyers say in closing as fact. But then they're giving a summary and you're hanging on every word like it is fact. I mean, if what they're saying is not fact, might as well put your headphones on and go to sleep.
Right.
Like you're listening to what they have to say. You're not able to cross-reference that with stuff earlier in the case when he said she never slept at his house again after the 18th and they broke up that week. No, Appleman's like, no, they were dating for 4 or 5 months later. Not true at all. He said a complete fucking lie that paints a picture of something that's not taking place. That should not be allowed.
No, it should not be allowed.
Because if I'm on the jury and I didn't hear it the first time when I was on the stand 4 days earlier when I had asked me when our relationship ended, and they didn't catch that, but they're locked in Kaplan on Monday, she's letting them know it didn't end until 4 months later, afterwards.
He is so mad at Georgia. Hey, Mr. C, good to see you. And Mr. C, here comes the reality, right? Charlie, your name is no longer Charlie. You are C62133. Donna, you are no longer Donna. You are W72841. Those are their inmate numbers in the Florida Department of Corrections.
Carried on a relationship? No, I didn't carry on a relationship for 4 or 5 months. That's a complete lie. If that's the case, then what Kaplan's saying does make more sense.
No, but it wasn't the case.
So it wasn't the case.
She just lied.
So you're lying. You're lying to create a story for your case to sound better, and it does. Like it does. I can't see how that's not appealable. That like she's telling the jury that we carried on a relationship for 4 or 5 months when we were done that week.
Without any proof.
I mean,
she just said it.
Yeah, just said it. Why would they not believe it? The prosecutor's not lying to them, or officers of court. the prosecutor. Why was she lying about relationship stuff? And you think that we are, we're cahoots together. We're carrying on this relationship.
Yeah. I know that. Charlie? Honey?
Charlie?
It's more incriminating that he broke up with Katie the week of the murder. Hey, Renita, good to see you. I think Charlie may have just disconnected, but we'll see. He might come back.
Charlie, can you hear me? Let's wait about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I thought I heard like a
9:36. I wonder if the battery went.
9:46. Might have. Charlie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I lost you for about 30 or 40 seconds there. Just hearing it. Yeah.
But I couldn't hear it. But, it's like, we hooked up once in October. Okay, the relationship, so boyfriend and girlfriend from that night forward for 4 or 5 months until we decided to separate. She makes it seem like we didn't separate because of that. Yes, we did. But you're going to lie, and then people are going to listen to your lie, and then they're going to evaluate the case. Every word out of your mouth is to make people fucking hate me. Hate my mom, hate my sister, show an autopsy photo. Hate you, hate your mom, hate your sister, show another autopsy photo. Bring in the code, bring in the coincidence, bring in the landline shit. Like, none of that has to do with my fucking house on the 18th. None of it.
No.
I'm like, it's exactly what I pictured. Honestly, Mom, exactly what I pictured this being without even, it's even worse than I pictured. Put it that way. Like, I pictured it being an unwinnable place that we could come to and get a fair trial. Unwinnable. They made it only at the mouth to get in Adelson up here for 7 years. They've had an Adelson in their mouth for 7 years. They were mad at Willie Meggs for what he said. They were really mad at him. They got nothing new. Everything on Dulce Vita could be explained, especially by the fact you missed the whole first half of the conversation. You're hearing only bits and pieces, and there's no context unless I tell you why I said what I said and why I said it. It's all perfectly explainable. I remember Anna was asking me questions, she was asking me questions about it. I was explaining what I said and why I said it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I wasn't hiding from it. I was like, no, she always used that expression, this Nazi shit, because the Nazis were crazy. So I'm trying to tell her I'm going to get someone to go crazy on these people and get them to stop.
Right.
Like, why didn't you get someone to go crazy on that guy in the first place? I'm like, because I had someone protecting me and handling me. And she made it clear. And she wouldn't tell me who the person was. This guy wasn't hiding his identity. It couldn't have been the same person. Like, that wire when I said it's not the same person without a doubt. It's done 48 hours. Like,
right.
That is comparing the first extortion to the second extortion.
That's right.
Like,
he just keeps going on and on and on. It's like, who are you trying to convince? Because he's not listening to himself. He just reiterates the evidence. He's basically implicated Wendi all over the place for hours at this point. And Georgia pointed out he had an answer for everything. He actually thinks that was the way that he was going to beat the case, was having an answer for everything.
Plain as day. Like, that should be a tape that you play, and you're like, it's because she would have had to know from me. More than likely. Let's hope they're that word. Is that a coincidence? Like, she could have helped her son. Like, it tied everything. Like, it was worse than I anticipated. As bad as I thought it would be if I came up here, I didn't think that it was going to be this kind of show with that kind of evidence. I mean, even to the point of showing the 536 number. They're creating evidence. Yeah. And you know what's crazy, Mom? When Dan saw that, when I was with him, and he saw that demonstrative, you know what he said to me? When I was going through stuff with him here at the jail, in the room, he goes, that's awesome. He goes, if they're going to use this as a demonstrative, fantastic. He goes, let them. He's like, I will destroy them with how stupid this is. He's like, this doesn't prove anything. This just, I mean, they gave something statistically significant, but I'm calling from my cell phone to their home phone because I know they're home and they get better reception on the landline. Oh, I'm going to destroy them with this because this just shows how they're just grasping and they have really no idea what's going on.
I think because they didn't have any real evidence, so they did that. They paid games to them.
And he was going to destroy them. You know what, Mom?
Donna wakes up every once in a while and just says something. But yeah, that's Judy, you are so funny. Like the song like Papa, can you hear me? I love that song. But I think I remember it on one of your shorts.
The people that were there hated you so much. Everything you put on that plate in front of them, they eat it up. It just became a pile of evidence. Looking at it and going, this is a pile of shit. They were poor people who were the dot on the map on the way to civilization. It's like saying this smart ass woman writing a book and they get shown an autopsy photo. I mean, it was like a psychological. It was put in together like to psychologically lead somebody to hate the person, to feel like they were personally insulted, and to render a verdict. Like you would not stand a chance with that jury, with any jury up here. I said to Dan, there's like this was crazy. Like I got Josh Dubin telling me I don't need the girl who just listens to Over My Dead Body podcast. Like, I mean, he did a great job asking people questions and interviewing. Like he really was fantastic. But as far as picking a jury, it was an obvious waste.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Charlie is so redundant. Of course, at this point in time, Chief Mack still has not come to see him because Chief Mack does not do mental health assessments. And there is a 72-hour hold. We are only a couple of hours over the 48-hour mark. And he just keeps going on and on and on. He's repeating himself. He doesn't listen to himself. I find it fascinating to watch how this is my opinion, how these narcissists talk to each other. And thank you everyone for hanging in there with me. Thank you. Hey Lily Willow, I see that you showed up if I'm missing anyone. Hey Janet True, good to see you. Janet True says Katie testified that you and her did this together, Charlie, right? And not once does he talk about remorse for Dan Markel. Not once does he say I'm innocent, and not once does he say I got extorted by Katie. Not in any of these hours of calls. I mean, I don't know who they think that their audience is. They know they're being recorded. Luis Rivera said that they did it for the dentist. Yep, the lady wanted her kids back because I do think that Luis thought that Wendi lived in Miami. He actually listened to the Over My Dead Body podcast. What, WTF? Well, he's talking about Josh Dubin getting rid of a juror who had just listened to the Over My Dead Body podcast. But everyone, the jury that got picked, they were fair. He okayed the jury. You hired a bigwig to come in here and do consultation on jury selection. And Little Rashy was awesome.
It was an obvious waste.
Yeah.
It was an obvious waste. And I don't even think. And because Dan said to me, he just looked at it, they didn't believe me. because they didn't believe, they had to have belief, and maybe he's just talking, it was like, they didn't believe what he said is what actually happened. But I'm like, look at them and look at me and look at my life. Like, they weren't there, and they don't know what my life was like, and they weren't at my house that night. Like, they didn't want to believe me. They couldn't relate to me. They had nothing in common with me. They hated me to begin with. Anybody that would have been like that would have been a 2 and 10 that you would have said these people would be good for him. They got that. They knew the jurors didn't want that. Okay? It wasn't even about the jurors I didn't want. It was the ones that were terrible. I had to get rid of them.
Yes, I don't understand how it's not that far. How they could just say, yeah, I could be fair, then move on to the next round.
That's all they have to say. I mean, Jesus, you could be a sheriff's officer and come in and I can totally fair. You need to show up to work after you just let me go. Tell your sergeant you let me go. No. All I have to say is I can be totally fair and subjective and follow the rules of the law, and then you're not disqualified. So what podcast was it? And they remember the name of the podcast from 4 years earlier. She remembered the name from 2019. 4 years ago, I listened to the podcast and I saw a date line. And I've read a little bit about it too because I think it's pretty interesting. Can you be fair? Oh, yeah, no, I definitely can be fair. I mean, I don't need Josh Dubin to sit there and tell me, yeah, you probably want to put an X on this one. He did a great job asking them questions and we got everybody back there. But like Dan said to me, he said,
Okay, I'm going to pause these two for 1 second. You guys, I'm going to share this real quickly, just because I know that there's discussion about it. Hang on, I have it right here. Luis Rivera gets out on August 16th of 2035, and it is exactly, it's about 6 weeks shy of 19 years from when he signed the deal. Can everybody see that? I don't know if I need to make it bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yes. So, yeah, and he's still in Jackson County, which is Mariana. So it's August 16th of 2035. Okay. All right, back to these two. And yes, I know it's redundant, but kind of wish someone would put all this on a thumb drive and send it to him. You've got to be listening to yourself.
I don't know how truthful or true it was with us.
You don't know how what? I didn't hear that.
All right, you said, I don't know how truthful or true it was with us. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, and when they tell you they know nothing, then what's your follow-up question? Where did you get your news for? I don't really know how to do this. I don't have a TV. I like to work and garden, and I don't really know much about it. You can go up there and grab every day, and they know a lot about the case, and they're looking forward to getting on it. But I can tell you this, 5 people had law enforcement in their family, and 3 people, either them or their spouse, worked at Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that. They shouldn't have been on the jury. Certainly the law enforcement.
Therefore, they had law enforcement in their family. The problem is this is a law enforcement community. You're not going to go to church and not go and police officers that go to your church. There's 9 law enforcement agencies in Tallahassee. 9. FDLE, Highway Patrol, Sheriff's Office, Tallahassee Police, Capitol Police, the FBI. There's a lot of agencies that have the Aaron comes up with it. I was told it was actually 9.
No, Charlie, by the way, there's a lot more than 9. There's a lot. He's trying to name them off.
So it's pretty likely you got someone in your family that's a police officer or a friend of a police officer or you work at Florida State or your spouse works at Florida State or you're looking at this batch club that worked at the bookstore at Florida State wearing its Florida State gear, jury duty. Say they were living at Florida State Emerald shirt. Thinking to myself, like, can I make $12 an hour at bookstore when he's writing a book, Trash in Tallahassee, on the way to Miami? Just writing a book. So, God on the map on the way to civilization. Like, all that was in the case for one reason only. And it was just to get people paid. Why do you think she was asking me, what does Bree do for Dave? And how old is she?
Yeah, I know. I heard these questions, and Ted and I looking at each other like, what? What's she asking? Makes no sense.
Because she knew that she was the nanny. So she was thinking this girl was could have been 16, 17, 18. Yeah. And it would have sounded like scandalous. That's why I answered her. I said, no, she graduated college, and then she went to work for Dave. She's 24. And then that position, she's the mother of my child. That's very nice. Very actually appreciated talking about it like that. Saying that she went to college, not just saying she was the nanny,
That's right.
I started off by saying she went to college for 4 years. Or 6 years. She went to college, she graduated, and then she went to.
Right, Janet, true, that part. Charlie, 2 of your co-conspirators testified against you. No mention of them.
What today? Totally take her away from the down point of saying, was she 18?
Yeah.
That's where she was headed with it. Just the way everything else was what she did was she knew she wasn't going to win on cross-examination with me.
No, she lost on that. Everybody said she totally lost. Yeah.
She totally lost. She totally got corrected multiple times. I do the wires better than her. I know the case better than her. She lost. So when a prosecutor has the defendant on the stand and she gets nowhere, she's getting put in her place, what does she do? She puts on a Dateline TV show for 2 hours to autopsy witness.
How many times did she put those pictures up?
Twice. And it wasn't just like she showed the picture and they saw it and she moved on. She left it up and talked with it on. What she did is first she showed the photo of him with his blue tie and a white shirt standing by the law school white columns,
Right.
So first it was that photo, and then this is what happened to him. This is the before, and this is the after. He was stripped of his clothes, put on the table, and photographed. This is what he looked like that day.
So why did she show it again? What was the reason? Because we didn't see anything like that.
Oh yeah, no, they wouldn't show that on TV. Those horrible graphic photos I've ever seen in my life.
But why did she show it a second time?
To make the effect twice as effective as the jury.
But when was she doing that? Was she doing that in the summation? Because I didn't see that.
Yeah.
She did. She had it up there.
Oh yeah. Listen, behind her, facing the jury, is a screen that's hanging down and bigger than a projector screen you have in the old house. It's probably 8 feet wide, 6 feet high. At least 8 by 6, 10 by 12.
Oh my gosh, they are insufferable. Hey, newsflash, Charlie, Donna, it's a murder trial. Murder trial. Are they delusional? Oh, geez. And thank you everyone for being here. Your comments are hilarious. I'm pulling them up because I'm gonna try to get through this. Because they are. Whew.
So when they're putting things on the projector or the elbow, that's what is being projected in front of the jury. It's bright LED light. you know, after they get, and it was timed, obviously, and she knew what her script was, so it was kind of like, you know, get the insulting things from Wendi about people in Tallahassee and her desire to live down south. She belittles Tallahassee. She lied about belittling Tallahassee. And then her mother wants her to come down south. And then next thing you know, you see an autopsy photo of Dan. Exactly photo. You see what happens to him. And you get sick. And you got your little princess writing a story, foreshadowing, saying it's just a fictional place. But let's be honest, like, it was North Florida State. The girl was an immigration lawyer, married to a college professor with 2 small children, boys, in a town that sounds just like Tallahassee. Like, you'd be lying if you said it wasn't wrong with North Florida State. Her life in the panic.
Charlie still has not read Wendy's book. Lily Walker adopts a baby in the book. One little girl, Anna. Lily Walker does not have 2 sons in the book. Oh, jeez.
Somewhere in North Florida. And it was just a small stop on the map on the way to civilization. I mean, listen, it's just a line in a book, but you got to admit it, it's perfectly good with Kathleen's story.
I did. Totally did. I just took you off speaker because while we were talking, Dad just fell asleep. So I'm just putting you in my.
Harvey just dozed off. So now she's taking him off speakerphone. Kristen, hey Jill. She says, where was Charlie during the OJ trial? How has he never watched a murder trial? He was in college. We're the same age. And it was on every single TV in college.
Yeah, no. That's good. The Xanax is probably kicking in, huh?
Yeah, he needs that.
Definitely keep him taking advantage because it's not worth on a heart attack or an overload.
No.
That was really fucking good. Completely. Oh.
Look, I have a lot of information. I'm working on getting an appeals attorney, and yes, there are specific things that you can get an appeal for, but there are also extenuating circumstances, which is what I'm going for. So let's give it a little bit of a chance. What I'm confused about, and I need to talk to Dan about tomorrow, is I don't know if it has to be filed within 30 days or 60 days. So if it's 30, I gotta get moving on this.
Yes, Kristen, we need to send him the book along with a thumb drive of these calls. And hey, Armin Fence, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Citizen Kane says Wendy should have dedicated the book to Charlie. I think she dedicated it to herself. I'm just kidding. Janet says, I think if a jury knows that there has been 5 guilty verdicts and Georgia gives them the narrative, Wendy would be convicted. Yeah, I mean, I think that they have enough to indict her. That's just my opinion. I'm not an attorney or a psychologist or a professional YouTuber. Ms. Sky Troop says, I hope the Markel boys will tell their stories of growing up someday under Wendy's wing. Oof. Cannot imagine. Yes. Hey, ain't no hollerback girl. Good to see you. You'll soon find out, Donna's shoe. And yes, it's 30 days, Donna, and your appellate attorneys have missed the deadline on yours.
Okay.
Yeah, so
no, this has to be. I mean, it has to be extenuating circumstances. Like I'm just like.
That's how I feel.
I mean, listen. I know everybody who loses a trial must feel that way, but like.
No, this is different.
This is different. Like this has to be part of a fucking bad movie. Like Dan's been doing this for 25 years. Like, he would never be saying the things he was saying.
Of course not. Oh my God. Of course not.
It makes him look like a fool.
Yes.
Like, especially when I did as well as I did. And he did as well as he did. And it's like, oh, well, you can't predict juries. No, guess what? When I'm using my extras to get people off who listen to a 6-hour podcast, like, when I'm using my extras to get people off a 6-hour podcast, and the state's witness, the headline case, says it could have been an extortion, right then and there, the case should be over. That's what it's about. Not Wendy's book, her foreshadowing, and her travel plans of that day, and me calling. I'm sitting there, and I'm writing post-it note after post-it note after post-it and handing it to Dan, and he's just like, stop it. And again, like, obviously, he can't do anything about it. He's going to do his little shtick. But, like, that's what it was. It was a little shtick. He didn't have, photos that were going to shake everybody to the core. He had puzzle pieces saying, hey, they don't fit. Guess what? These people just saw the most graphic photos of their life left on the screen multiple times. The autopsy photos.
Yeah, Janet, true. They've gotten extensions several times, and there still isn't an appeal filed at this point in time. So for people who were there in the gallery, like, Georgia did not leave those photos up for an extended amount of time. And I'm so sorry, Charlie, that you're traumatized by him. Gee.
Like, horrible photos. Like, like,
Mm-hmm.
The kind of stuff that people see probably when they go to war. They get PTSD from what they saw. And then leaning on this after talking about Wendi going, writing her book, taking a shit on you on the way down south. Use your common sense, guys. Listen, when someone talks to you like that, that's just saying, like,
yeah,
you're smarter than they are. You get the final word. Like, you're gonna buy this shit? Like, no. Why don't you listen to the witnesses? Listen to Luis Rivera. He said this could have been an extortion.
Yeah.
Like, that, your own state's witness. He's like, I was lied to. Okay, that's all enough that you to quit right there. But it's not that. They confuse them with so much other extemporary bullshit.
Just bullshit. Yeah, that's what it was. Bullshit.
Yeah, literally. Because it's funny. It made so much sense. Brian Watson at one point said to me, Charlie, if they would find out the exact code on TV, that he would be screwed. Brian, do you know why they're never going to figure out what the code is? Exactly what it is? He goes, well, why? What's that? I go, there is no fucking code. You can't figure out code when there is none. So I can promise you in 1 billion years it'll never be figured out because there was never one. He's like, man, that's just really unfortunate that happened. And and it's easy things to grab hold of. There has to be
something they can understand and remember because it's easy.
Yeah. And hey, listen. When the person shows up at the scene of the crime, they can almost get planned on being arrested just for that.
Right. I know.
And here, suspect numero uno shows up at the scene of the crime that morning, an hour afterwards, by coincidence. My friend from Detroit said that's 1 in a million.
Yeah. I know.
So in order to think she's innocent, she has to be that 1 in a million that she's innocent. The other 999,000 smell like shit. Like, that's the definition of being at the wrong place. You ever see the movie My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah, long time ago.
Do you remember how, like, when the two boys, they were going on, like, a road trip, and they pulled into the convenience store with a sack of soap, and then they left, and then, like, as they were leaving, a car with near identical color, near identical size, the two people that fit their description pulled up?
Yep. Yes, everyone. He is going there. He is bringing up my cousin Vinny.
And they robbed the place and they killed the clerk. But when they left, that one that has a different model, almost identical. The only difference was one tire said positive rear traction, one tire spun while the other tire didn't. And she was reversing on the stand to prove that could have come from the car because it didn't have positive traction. You know that?
I don't remember that. I don't.
And they showed her the pictures of the tire marks. And if she was like, my whole family was mechanics, and I know mechanics, and I can real.
Oh, right, when she was on the stand.
Like,
yes.
Oh, jeez. Yes, Marissa Tomei won an Academy Award for that role. Hey, Salty Pepper, good to see you. You are so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Janet. He doesn't, and he repeats himself over and over, and is why he has 1,000 ex-girlfriends. Oh, jeez. And we still have about a little less than 30 minutes to go on this one call. And Harvey's already gone to sleep.
Like that car didn't come with a positive traction. It only came in the 67. The 66 didn't have positive traction. So the one tire was spinning while the other tire was up in the air. That's why there was only one tread mark. They couldn't have been it. And they come in and they're like, someone was just arrested with this gun and this car in the town over, and they were robbing the convenience store. It's like literally two guys fitting their description in the same car, pulled up, like within seconds of them leaving, went in the store, killed the clerk, and drove off. And these guys had just left the store with the same color car and the same description. Yeah. And it's like, what are the chances?
I know. It's a really good example. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, and like the eyewitness puts them at the scene. Like their eyewitnesses identified them, and they had just left, and they had the same car, near identical same car, but the witnesses all identified them and put them there. And it's like, but you think the witnesses are making it up that two youths with like the same 1967 Pontiac lime green showed up? I mean, it happened.
It happened.
A year apart. Didn't have positive traction. But my point is like, it's that kind of thing when you show a guy who works in the post office for 20 years and there's all these streets, and she's taking streets she shouldn't be on, and she's taking the most direct route, and she's traveling 10 miles and passing 4 liquor stores, and then she shows up at the crime scene. That was in their opening, that was in their closing. Yeah. When they're opening and closing on the same stuff, those are the points they want you to remember. Like, no debate about what happened at my house on the 18th.
Yeah.
And guess what? There ain't no debate that when you showed up at the crime scene an hour after it happened, 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that's hard evidence that you can't debate. Mine is he said, she said.
Right.
You can't debate when you showed up at the crime scene an hour after that, 10 miles away. You can't argue it. It happened. You can't argue the book that she wrote with the lines that she put in there. Like, you can't because it happened. Then you look at people and you go with the code and all that shit, and you go, use your common sense. I mean, someone gives you that answer, use your common sense. What do you think it is? And by the way, she insulted you guys.
Okay, so somehow my cousin Vinny, the movie, and the way that Joe Pesci gets the kids off, the young men. I say kids. Anyone in there like under 30, you're a kid. But somehow he's equating that to the mailman being on the jury and knowing the routes. I'll bet he didn't score high on the analogy section of the SAT. Just saying. And in my opinion, and I keep saying this, I believe his IQ is between an 85 and a 90. And that is my opinion. No, I do not have any evidence of that. Someone had asked me in my comments.
On the way out of town, she changed the kid's last name. She keeps the grandparents from seeing the kids, and she found her way to civilization. And here's an autopsy photo. Yeah. You having a nice conversation with them while this big screen, 8 by 10, 8 feet by 10 feet, the worst photo you've ever seen in your life, telling them that this man was stripped naked for a slap photograph at his autopsy. Just a few hours earlier, he was at the gym.
Yeah.
Tallahassee, and Premier Fitness. And he suffered for 14 hours. You feel horrible. And then you feel horrible, and she's a bitch because she left 48 hours later and it's not photo. The thing is this long. In a normal world, this never would have flown because you would have a case that not everybody on the planet knew about. So I wouldn't be wasting my excess. I don't need Josh Dubin to tell me not to get the girl who just watched over my Dead Body podcast on my case. How insightful was he for Dan to say I spent the most amount of time I ever had on a case, I've never known it this well. I had a defendant testify and score 95% in my eyes. And you can't get one person to agree with you? Not one person. Dan was working at one person to call this case. It is usually.
It's because you guys paid Little Rashi to lie to you. You didn't score 95. Jeez.
When I had a case, I always want to get at least one person out there who agree with me. So I know at least it's going to be a hung jury. Because this is crazy. Because in this case, I'm worried that we get one person who disagrees with us and makes it a hung jury because it's an 11-1. Like normally, I want to always get that one on there that's a hang jury. Normally, defendants don't take the stand.
No, that's right.
Normally defendants don't take the stand, and normally, he just wants to get at least one person so it hangs. This wasn't like getting one person so it hangs. He was worried that it was going to be, one person to vote for you so it hangs. He was worried that he was only going to get 11 out of 12. He's like, we need to get you home. We need to get 12 out of 12, not 11 out of 12. I don't want to get 10-2 and do this thing over again to the hung jury. They'll do it over again. We need to get all 12. We bring Josh Dubin in that's going to really dig into these people's profiles and get the right people on here. Not one. I feel like I'm still in a fucking movie. Not one person. I mean, I know that's not an appellate issue, but it's just a realization that if between Josh Dubin and his whole team and all the effort he put in, for him to tell me I did a 95% on the stand, he said to me, if you do a 70%, I'm driving you home. There's not a doubt in my mind. You do 70%, I'm driving you home. He said, that's all you got to get. He said, you got a 95 because this is the best you ever testified. This is the best I've seen. You're sharp. To the point. You made your point. You make a big deal about everything of her. You didn't lose your cool. Like, you carried the day. This was all you, man. Yeah. This was you, man. You carried the day. Like, I got you there, but you did it, man. We were so pumped last Friday. I haven't talked to Michael in a long time. And I called him up on the phone, right? I mean, it's got to be like...
You guys, I don't believe for 1 minute that he was pumped on Friday before that weekend because he came back to court on Monday and he was gray, looking more like Beetlejuice than ever. He looked like he had not slept. And then he looked even worse after George's closing, right? I don't think that he was pumped. And remember, Donna has said to him a couple of different times, I had a suitcase packed for you. I was going to drive you home. No, you weren't, Donna. You were in Naples with Harvey hiding out in Annie and Ronnie's house in Naples. I kept saying Sarasota. They're very close to each other, but it was Naples. And we already established this a few phone calls ago. Charlie's trial started on the 23rd of October in 2023. Donna bought not one, but 2 giant care packages for him. And the first one she bought on the 28th, 5 days into his trial. And then she bought another one a couple days later. She knew he wasn't coming home. I don't know why Charlie doesn't confront her and say, Mom, what? Oh, you were going to drive me home? Where were you during the verdict? Oh, I didn't see you in court on Monday. He's so crazy. Hey, Moms for Justice. Thanks for joining us. We're listening to the delusional Adelson crime family duo. And these crazy jail calls. All right, I'm going to continue with these two. Oh, jeez. I don't know why Charlie does not confront her. Well, maybe he's not because he wants her to set up all the trusts for Roman.
Wait, last time I talked to him was 118 days. So I called him up on the phone, and I was like, he's like, man, you did fantastic. He's like, I was impressed with you. He's like, she was getting frustrated with you. Like, he's like, she was like, I knew she was frustrated with you. She started asking you how old was Brady.
Hey, Rosie, good to see you, hon. Thanks for joining. He just keeps harping. He's so mad at Georgia Kappelman. It's comical.
What does she do for Dave? Yeah, we really worked hard, and the case came in good. The case came in good, and Dan's a closer. Dan walks around saying his specialty is closing. Like he's not. Like he's as good as they come, and his specialty is closing. Like I'm literally giving away all my stuff, taking my phone numbers with me to court because I don't think they're going to bring me back. It's high profile, which is going to release me from the courthouse.
Really, everyone was just blindsided by that. Really, everyone.
I mean, it's not an appellate issue to go, hey, we were blindsided by the verdict. Like, you're responsible.
No.
But not here.
No. It's supposed to be unpredictable.
Listen, not when you have everything coming in perfect and Josh Dubin picking the jury. This wasn't me picking the jury. This was Josh Dubin picking the jury. Like, that's impossible for everything to come in perfect and even better. I mean, he's been with witnesses. He got more out of Wendi Rivera.
Matt Mello, I think that they thought that the prosecution was going to get him. That's who I thought that they thought was going to get him. Oh my goodness. He literally is calling, I think he's about to say Luis Ramirez.
Perfect and even better. I mean, he's been with witnesses. He got more out of Wendi Rivera than he thought he'd get.
Oh, okay. He did say Rivera, but the closed caption said Ramirez. Okay.
He got more out of other people than he thought he got. He got them to admit. They didn't have to admit. I mean, they said to Luis Rivera, could it have been an extortion? They could have been. She lied to me.
Yeah.
He didn't have to say that. He could just go, I don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't give you I don't knows all day. He gave him something huge. If those facts didn't mean anything, we had a pile of shit. You had a pile of shit sitting next to the jury, dropped off by someone who was on their way to Miami, like she said she wanted to be in the book. She belittled you people from Tallahassee. and she made her way to the big city of Miami. And she even wrote about it. She wrote what she was going to do, and then she did it, and she showed up at the scene.
Hey, Northern Soul Girl. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, moms were just, yeah, we've established that he is Fredo Corleone. He is so Fredo. I'm smart. I'm really smart. Yeah, Charlie is not smart. On his, oh no. Hey, happy 24/7 on his prison final box. Like, don't be dumb. Use your common sense, y'all. That's just wrong. We have no sympathy for you, murderer. Janet says, they just can't believe that they got caught. In a few days, they're going to get Donna. Yeah, that's what's so exciting about this. And the dings, right? The dings, well, she's not getting any dings, I don't believe, on this call because it's late at night and the people from the Vietnam visa office are not working this late. But in all the other calls, we just keep hearing the dings, right? She's getting the emails about her emergency Vietnam visa. Oh, jeez.
Now you see why, like, those people fucking hate me. You put all that in there, and then you show an autopsy photo for 10 minutes and just talk about things. That's not a PowerPoint. You shouldn't be allowed to, like, I mean, maybe it's an appellate issue that she showed it twice. Maybe it's an appellate issue for how long she left it up there. But she was basically just lying her fucking ass off and then showing autopsy photos. And I mean, listen, Dan never thought that it would have been like this up there. He never would have spoken like he did.
Never had anything like this.
Did he say he's never seen anything like this?
Pretty much.
Did he, sorry, Mom, it doesn't seem real.
No, I know it doesn't seem real to us either.
No. What time do you shut the phone to? 10:30 or no?
5. Yeah, Dad's asking me, he doesn't want you to get cut off. Is it 10:30 or 10:45 that they cut it off?
It should be 10:45 when the phone cuts off. It just happened to pick up my tablet at 10:30 yesterday.
Okay. It should get cut. Okay.
But it's like, I mean, it doesn't seem real. I'm feeling a little better now talking to you guys, talking to Bree tonight, but we'll get the appellate lawyers as Tuesday day. You know, I don't want to spend a fortune, but we got to get somebody good. I was going to say really now.
Charlie, I'm getting names tomorrow, so trust me, I'm on it. I'm trying. We get names, and I'll have to talk to you, and yeah.
I mean, listen, we brought in Josh Dubin. Like, this is not Charlie and Dan taking the jury. Oh, we screwed up. This is somebody who wrote the fucking book on jury selection. And then this was a case that came in as a code, like even better. And then the evidence against me was so unbelievably strong that for 6 years they don't arrest me.
Right. And then the evidence didn't change.
He thinks that Josh Dubin is the superstar because he always is harping on, yeah, Josh Dubin knows Tallahassee. He was there for 4 years. Josh Dubin went to FSU for his undergraduate. People who are in college do not know the community. Charlie, this is all buyer's remorse, right? Buyer's remorse. Ugh.
Yeah. It's changed. You're taking the whole case without my mom and sister. Like, the whole case, my mom and sister, there was no talk about, like, behaving. She couldn't get any headway with me, so she did it with everything else. She painted the whole picture, but while she was doing it, she was insulting people in Tallahassee. That's honest to God, that's where you lose people. Race, religion, and insulting person. And she knew it, you know, and you spin race, religion, insult them personally, put together datelines, and you throw some autopsy photos in. And And then before it's over, he throws some more autopsy photos. And you get sick. You get angry, you feel insulted. You feel like you're smarter than this person that's doing this. And this person's arrogant. This person thinks he's untouchable. What are they telling you when they're saying that and showing you autopsy photos? Oh, I'll show him who's untouchable. He thinks he's arrogant, Miss Katherine? She's saying I'm arrogant. I'm arrogant, I'm untouchable, and I'm showing you the autopsy photos. You want to get somebody back when you're being like, when the person's saying that they think they're better than you.
Hey, Allison. Good to see you again. Hey, MM. I hope that my volume's better.
They think they're smarter than you. They're writing books. They're telegraphing their moves in the book. Use your common sense. The girl showing up at the crime scene is writing a fucking book. She's telling you where she's moving. Like, it's not real, because you know what? You take these simple lines, and I will tell you that some of the coincidences are fucking scary. But you take the simple lines, you get them to hate the people, you show them coincidences that are extremely hard to believe, that the crime suspect shows up coincidentally at the crime scene. Literally. They went and got crime suspect number one.
Oh my goodness. I think, okay, you guys have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that that's the first time in an hour and 11 minutes on this call that we heard him say coincidence. Because he says it about 50 times on all the other calls. Oh, geez.
The person who just drove by the crime scene. And you want to say, think with your common sense. Yeah, your common sense says she has to be involved. And if she's involved, he's involved. But that's not the case.
No,
I mean, that's as much the case as me calling the home phone number because you get better reception on my cell phone. Like, it's not the case either, but it's a statistically significant event. I mean, what are the chances of me calling the home phone number on the few trips that these guys went out? Like, by the way, you know, like the first time that these guys went up, they rented a silver Maxima or a silver Nissan Altima 2004 four-door.
Right.
It was the identical car that Jeff owned.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. He asked Luis Rivera, hey, did anyone tell you to rent a certain car, or was there any reason behind what car he rented? And he's like, no. Okay, then it wasn't a frame job. But literally, when Dan showed me what it was, he's like, this is like the same car that he owned, like the identical car. Like, and then Jeff goes like, there's only 2 times that summer that I went on vacation. The first week of June, and I was going to leave on the 18th, and I left the 17th instead. Those are the only 2 trips I took all summer. That's significant if you're talking about framing somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess you just chalk it up to another coincidence, but like, there would be corroboration with the people that did it if that's what that was
right.
the plan was. But that's why it was just something that Jeff was trying to throw. That's why Jeff was so upset. He thought he was getting framed. He was sure.
No, that's the reason he did that. Of course. Wouldn't have done it otherwise.
No, that's why he went in, like guns a-blazing, throwing every name out there, and saying, look at her brother. Because I had a Ferrari. I had money. I'm a brother.
You see, Charlie is very confused here. No, Jeff did not come in guns a-blazing. You hired Sigfredo to go in guns a-blazing against Dan Markel. What part are you not getting here? I got money. I'm a brother. Oh, geez.
Throw the name out. The family. Exactly. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, your sister implicated you in like the first 25 minutes of a 5-hour interview.
South Florida's Cuban. Oh, we've got to know some Cuban people. No one was Cuban. So like, oh, Hispanic. Well, Hispanic's not Cuban. He's a Cuban. So like, but it's just like, I get it. He thought he was being framed. He got mad. He was trying to point fingers at everyone else but him. He said, don't look at me, look at him. Look at this guy. Like, let me put some fluff in there. But at the end of the day, it's still another witness for the state showing up and throwing shit. So it's like, if they can make Wendi look bad, if they can make Wendi look as guilty as she can without arresting her.
Okay, I just want to, hey, I just want to let you know that, and Grish does have a post up about this. He identifies the wrong boyfriend as George, okay? He identifies George Fernandez, but that's not Wendy's boyfriend. It's George Estrada. So, yeah, and I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if I did it in this live stream. I did a live stream earlier. I'm trying to get through these jail calls, but because school starts next week. And then I won't be doing any lives for a minute. But I don't believe that Dan Markel's murder has anything to do with SCX trafficking. I mean, there might be something there with, like, Wendi and her jobs and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I doubt it, but I'm just saying. I don't think that Dan Markel's murder has anything to do with that. But who knows at this point? I mean, these people are diabolical. We all know. I know. Guns a-blazing, as bad as bullet bourbon. I know. Well, and he used the term guns a-blazing in another call when he was talking about Rashbaum being a defense attorney and Josh Dubin being the jury consultant. They came in at guns a-blazing. It's like, dude, read the room. June probably believed him at first, then she got tired of listening to this crap. Says Kristen Hey Jill, I know, right? Yeah, I mean, oh, June. Matt Mellis says, Janet, I'm going to. The question is, will prison let it go through? Oh, are you are you gonna send him a picture of a lobster dinner? Oh, geez. Willy Willow, this is all he has on Wendi, and he got it at his own trial. I know. I'm pretty sure they have a lot more on Wendi, you guys. It's not over. It's not over. I do not believe that it's over. Right. Yes, happy 24/7. Not once is he saying anything to the cell block tune of why would they think we made someone do this. Right. Or any remorse for the murder of Dan Markel. Or I'm innocent. Or Katie extorted me. You don't hear any of that. Okay, I'm going to keep going.
Then they can convict me. That's basically what it comes down to. That's basically what it comes down to. If they can make Wendi look as guilty as sin, then I have to be guilty. That's why they were going after Wendi the other day. Yeah, I still say, like, what are the chances of suspect number one traveling to the crime scene?
Yeah. It's so absurd, and yet not for these people.
Well, it happened, didn't it?
Yeah, it happened.
I mean, it's either a coincidence or she's involved. You be the judge. Who benefits? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even beat it that horse, but that's what the case came down to, and it came down to them getting rid of any possible term that could have been good for me. And there wasn't many to pick with. It was slim picking. It was slim picking, and anybody who could have been possibly good got X'd off. And with this population, with either slim pickings or they have it out for you. They're gonna have it out for you.
Yeah.
So it never would have flown. She couldn't win on the facts with me, but she could win on a character assassination in the Dateline special. With a slam dunk. I mean, listen, Dan's too smart to really be that wrong. Let me just put it that way.
Right.
For him,
And you know, we both know that's absolutely true.
yeah, this was not
Yes, that is a theory. There's no evidence of that, or we haven't seen any evidence of that yet. But yes, a lot of us think so. I mean, I think that she got tired of it not happening. It took 9 months to happen. I think at some point she circumvented Charlie and Katie. But Charlie and Katie are still guilty. Lily Willis. Well, there's no flipping with these two. This is all they got. I know. Oh. Okay. Just a few more minutes.
case with the facts. And like at one time, I was going through this case with Dan, and you know what he said to me? He said, "This was a normal case. The evidence that we have to prove your innocence at this time." He said, "I think I would call up the prosecutor and say, let's just meet, see if you guys can go over this together and see if you want to dismiss the case." Those were his exact words to me.
Wow.
One night we were going through it, he goes, "This evidence is so compelling of your innocence." He goes, "If this was a normal case, I probably would sit down and show the prosecutor what we have at this point and see if they want to dismiss the case." That's what he was. That's what he felt with the case. He was worried about one juror not being with us. You know, you got Josh Dubin, the guru, couldn't find her one. That's with the case.
He said Josh Dubin, the guru. Okay, Patty's Playhouse, I think it's probably at least, at this point, maybe 2 years ago. Patty's Playhouse read all 1,000+ pages of Charlie's jury selection transcript. It's over 8 episodes on her channel. Josh Dubin barely spoke.
Case that you have this much, like, where they're lacking so much, they don't even have a credible witness. Like, so it's a he said, she said, but you have, the she said is lying through her teeth.
Right.
So what are you up against? You're up against the town. If there ever was like a extenuating circumstance where the temperature in the town made it so you couldn't have had a fair shake, this is got to be the case.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, the case got in that big. If there was ever a case that people said, like, you're not going to get a fair trial if God came down and tried this case, and not because there's like overwhelming evidence. There's not.
No, that's.
But there's overwhelming bullshit that paints a picture that's beyond horrible. It paints a picture, it paints the motive, it makes these people look like horrible people. You lie through your teeth, there's no way. There is no way you could have brought back Johnny Cochran. You would not have won this case, and not because of evidence, but because of the shit because it was a Dateline special. Like, this can't be the end.
That's what we're going to find out. There's enough stuff that needs to be addressed, and I'm not going to give up. We're going to fight it.
Well, I just hope that that it's not the kind of thing that gets to, like, judges that only really see the side of the state, and they're like, well, you got screwed. All right. Like, jury spoken. Like, I just hope that there's actually extenuating circumstances that people could look at a case and go, like, this is too serious of a thing, and the way the state did it. But hey, they convinced the jury. Doesn't matter how they did it, I guess.
Well, maybe it does matter how they did it. There are some things in there that may matter.
But
I've got a list of them, and we're going to see what we could do.
Did Dan say that there's a chance, like a legitimate chance, with some of the stuff they did? Or?
No, I didn't talk to him about that. I had too many other things to talk about. I didn't talk about that, and I wanted to just. But that's why I said I don't know whether it's 30 days or 60.
Okay.
Maybe 30. I need to find out that, and I need to get some names and check some people out, get some advice.
I'm sure Wendi will know some people. We'll know some people that would be good advice.
She might. She might.
Yeah, just
see what happens with the jewelry, with those 3 jewelry.
Oh, yeah, Harvey did wake back up. Is he for real? He wants to get Wendy's advice on an appellate attorney? Like the one lawyer of the family did not explain to you the Florida statute of murder. And I do hear some owls hooting, but I think that they stopped. Oh, I'm being very quiet. Hang on. Oh, well. Okay, sorry. Oh, did you guys just hear that? Okay, I'll get back to these two.
I know. Well, that's what we got to see that first. But that doesn't stop me from, in the meantime, trying to get somebody, even if it's backup, want to have it.
No, I appreciate you guys helping me.
Well, as I said earlier, and it's for legal reasons. It's not for any other reason that you haven't spoken to Wendi yet. But I can only tell you she's a mess. She's a mess.
Yeah. No.
Donna is a liar. They did not ever tell her that she couldn't talk to Charlie. Just FYI.
She told what happened to her. They saw the court so they were put her on trial, but they basically used a ton of shit on her to dirty me up.
Yeah, that's what they did.
You know, they would have, you know, there's a point of, I mean, but had other people said to you that there's like legal ground that could maybe do something with this?
There are thoughts that something could be done, but you know, I'm not going to discuss it with you now. Dan will tell you after we get some more information.
Yeah. That's good. Hopefully there's some jury misconduct. That's the easiest way to get something overturned is jury misconduct. That's the number one way I've heard.
Say that again? That what?
Jury misconduct is the number one way to get something overturned.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I'm
Oh, that's a good idea, Charlie. And you're already getting some, well, you thought you were getting some help from the juror number 15, the alternate that you're so obsessed with, who I believe might have been on the take. Just my opinion. Hey, Cam, good to see you. Wendi helping him. Yeah, she's helped you right into prison, dude. Yeah, she sure has helped you.
hoping they find something that would make life easy.
That would be a dream.
That would be a dream.
The jury misconduct is the quickest way to get rid of it.
Oh, I know. That's the number one reason.
Yeah, that's the biggest and the best reason. But there has to be extenuating circumstances when you're talking about like what went on here in this town.
Oh, I'm sorry. I pray it's not over. This consumes my life. No, don't let it consume your life. I mean, a lot of us are obsessed with it. I get it. But, okay, just listen. It's not in our control. It really isn't. And you really can't worry about things that aren't in your control. But one reason why I just keep going, because I believe that there's two unindicted co-conspirators out there that need to be put in jail. So yeah, don't let it consume your life. I know it looks like, okay, so it totally is consuming my life. Sorry. For the last week or so and the last couple days, and I am going to push through, you guys. I mean, school starts next week, okay? And then I am not going to be on a live stream at all for a minute. But I'm trying to get through these calls. After this one, there's, let me look real quick. Yes, we're on part 12. So there's still 13, 14, 15, and they are, I think they're anywhere between like 36 and 40 something minutes, okay? So I'm going to try to do all those, and then I'm going to finish up with Georgia. I know Wendi listened to these. You guys, remember Wendi says that she doesn't listen, she doesn't read, she doesn't watch. That is such BS, because somehow she knows what's being said about her. I know. I know, Jan. Yeah, I doubt she even thinks about him. Yeah, Matt, we're all in agreement. Jailhouse legal advice, yes. Remember, I think in one of the other calls, he's like, "I've learned so much about trials here. Well, since I've been locked up." Yes. Okay. Wait. What is Kristen saying? Has Wendy's new family listened to these calls? I don't know. Yes. Yes, Cam. We just want justice, and until Wendi is arrested, there's no there's no full justice. We're only 5/7 of the way there. That's my opinion. Oh, ain't no holler back, girl. Girl, just no, just turn it off. Turn it off, you guys. Take care of yourselves, right? Listen, when I'm done with I mean, I've been following this case since it happened. I work 2 miles away. Some of you guys have heard that before. I don't mean to repeat myself, but I do repeat myself. I'm not as bad as Charlie, but I do repeat myself. And yeah, I've been following the case for 12 years. But at times, I mean, I have to walk away. I have to step away. Sometimes I will cut off YouTube for like a whole week or more at a time, and then binge watch something mindless. Yeah, don't let it affect your mental health, or don't let it affect. Oh, okay. Good night, Mrs. Sky Troop. You and the Mister. Good night, Sky Troopers. Love you guys. Yeah, all this may be well. Put a fire under Georgia to get going. It's not getting better as time passes. Yeah, I don't know if she has all the decision-making skills, just to say. Because, you guys, this is an odd case. It's federal investigators and state prosecution. Okay? All right.
Because there's no way that Dan was as prepared as he was. I did the 95% job I did. Josh Newman comes in and, with this jury, let me tell you something. This jury ain't any different than any other jury you've pulled this town. If you can't get 1 and 12, how the f*** are you going to get 12?
Charlie, just it's FYI, it's 10:41. So I hate when they cut you while you're talking. That always upsets me.
No, but it could do.
Okay, I just want to kind of clarify something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who Carl's source is, but I feel like he got a little bit of bad information, because that CLE, which is continuing legal education, that talk was from March, and that's not what got said at all. They did not say anything about Katie going free. There was a hypothetical question because Georgia and Jason Newland, and then the judge that was kind of getting questions and asking, it was Judge Sheffield. they were talking about like scenarios, not scenarios, but they were talking about like possibilities, and that came up as a question. Georgia didn't outright say that like Katie would be going free. So I don't know. And AA Legal Focus Judy had done she had done 2 live streams because she created transcripts from that Dan Markel murder talk that Georgia and Jason Newland did in March. It was for the Tallahassee Bar Association. And so she ordered the video, she created transcripts from the video, and then she read them on her channel under members only. And that was like a week or so before Carl went live that night saying that Katie's going to be released. So I don't know. That's my perspective on everything, because he did videos after that backtracking.
Put it any time with the reception on the thing. But you know what I'm saying? Well, like, if the truth is that it wasn't Dan, it wasn't me. I'm innocent, and it's this town.
It wasn't Kate, wasn't Dubin. You had the best. You really had the best.
I really had the 18. And you're going to tell me that between Dan, his team, how much evidence that they had that I was innocent, how much things to raise reasonable doubt, that they couldn't come up with one fucking juror to vote for me? Not one. Come on, you need 12 to walk out. 12 to get you out the door. We couldn't get one. You think another batch of jurors was going to get me 12 in Tallahassee? Not with that slideshow. Not with that slideshow. She got frustrated with the witness, but the slideshow worked like a charm.
He's saying not with that slideshow. He's talking about her 2-hour Dateline special closing. Like Charlie's getting mad right now, and then in the last couple minutes of this call.
You there?
I'm here. Maybe up here.
But you know, like there's no way that Dan could have been that sure about that case. Like, okay, you could say with that jury, you don't stand a chance. It wasn't that jury, because you're going to tell me another jury you're going to get 12?
No.
That ain't going to happen. The state won't let it. They're going to have the 2 in 10 that are actually going to give you a fair shot. They're going to take off, and then the other 8 are shit. They're all shit. You know, with the fair shot people would be an anonymous person taking a case to court under a normal circumstance, not podcasts and Dateline and 2020 and global news and on the radio every day, and newspaper, and a small town, radio, newspaper, television, blogs, like nonstop third trial going on, them calling me the mastermind, like it was their Super Bowl. Anyway, I love you guys.
I love you too, honey.
I love you, Charlie.
All right. I'll do better. I do better when I talk to you guys.
Good. That's good. I know it's light and it's hard in there, but try to close your eyes and get some rest, okay? It's a tough day.
No, I'll be good. I'll give you guys a call tomorrow, okay?
Perfect. Anytime. We're super early. Anytime you want.
All right. Me too. I love you guys.
I love
take
you.
a Xanax. It's better off taking a Xanax than a heart attack, okay?
We got it.
Oh, there it goes. Pill pusher Charlie. Pushing the Xannies. Oh, goodness.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys.
I love you too, sweetie. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Bye. Love
Love you.
you guys. Bye.
Love you too.
I think it's
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Whew. Okay. I'm just going to look real quick. I am not going to do another one, but okay, there's 3 left. One's 40 minutes, and the other 2 are just under 36 minutes. So it never gets old. And I appreciate you guys so much for hanging in there with me. And I do think, and I wasn't trying to be like snotty or whatever. I just think that we just all need to relax, okay? We're not in control of it. And I mean, if you want to write letters, that I mean, that's fine. I believe that they already know the sentiment of the public in regards to why people are upset that Wendi hasn't been arrested. I think that they've gotten a lot of emails. So, okay, just real quick for everyone who's here, like before I get off, do you guys want to hear the recording that I did on the owls communicating again, or would you rather hear my song going out? Just let me know. The first few people to say song or owls. Yes, and I know that Patty, Leslie, and I were all three on at the same time tonight. Yeah, school starts for us next week. Cam says both. Okay. You know what? Okay, I'll play the owls and then I'll go out with my song. But thank you guys all for being here tonight and thank you for hanging in there with me. I appreciate you all. And until next time, full justice for Dan Markel.
She traded in the blonde blowout for a curly flame. Walked out the salon with a brand new name. Different signature, different shade of blue. Whispers all around said, we all know it's you. Chameleon smile with an innocent glow. The facade behind the door swung open slow. She never heard the word no for long. Deceit and spite kept carrying on. Mama made the phone calls, brother tried to keep it clean, polished every headline till it barely could be seen. Silk gloves hiding fingerprints, nobody on the lam. She can pretend all she wants, but she don't give a damn. You can paint the skyline, rewrite every frame, but you can't fool forever with new hair, new name. She could fool the room with a sideways glance, turn a business meeting into a slow dance. Every favor will come with a price. The ones who protected her, they rolled the dice. One by one they have fallen, locked up in a cell. Who will come to save her? Will they ever tell? Shaking her hair, changing her name. She cannot outrun justice. She's part of the chain. Gold in her ears, pearls on her neck, but deep down she's a wreck. Everything she wanted did not come for free. She ruined so many lives, even her own family. Justice walks slowly, gossip runs fast. Some stories fade, but some outlast. Mirrors don't forget what's behind the disguise, even if colored contacts tell beautiful lies. Oh, new hair, new name, same old shame. Running from the smoke, but remembering the blame. Fundraisers and parties can't erase the night. Truth keeps shining through, even in the dimmest light. Fortunes may protect you for a little while. She may be dressed up in a perfect smile. Curtains always fall at the end of every play. You can change your look, but the truth won't fade away. She changed her face, the world came to see. But she never could change his memory.